Good morning. Welcome back to Mark from the future. It's Friday morning. We're going to mix things up a little bit with this one because we normally start on a Monday, but time-wise it makes more sense to start this vlog on a Friday. It's going to be a bit confusing. Last one you've seen ends on a Thursday. This one's going to go Friday to Thursday. I've just confused myself. I've confused you, so there's no point. Just watch the video. I'm on the way to collect something, and that something might be the S14. So you've only seen it in primer, actually. But you know what? Why don't you go back to Mark from the past, have a little look-see, and I'll make my way down to collect it, and we'll meet up back in the future. And we're back again, but just for a second. We save the clips for next week?
Yeah.
Of the colour?
Yeah.
I think we will. We're going to make you wait. It's worth it. Welcome back to or more. A bit out of breath here, just after fucking loading up the S14 on the trailer. The rest of it I'll get in the next go. So that's it. On to the next clip. Welcome back. So, you've seen clips of me priming the S14, painting the S14. You've seen it up on the trailer. You haven't seen the kit on. Now, I know I said I was going to show you the kit going on, but I did it during Saturday. I was busy. I wanted to get the fiberglass on before it started kind of going out of shape because the weather's been really hot lately. So, you didn't see it go on, but now you're going to get to see it pretty much fully together.
Never stay on the beat.
That is the S14. It's missing a few bits and pieces. I still have some screws to go in the quarter panels. They're just held on with 2 or 3 screws at the moment. I'm missing indicators here out of the bumper, which I don't have, but I will get. And the wheels are on there for now. I need spacers on the front because the wheels are actually slightly touching the calipers. But that's kind of it really. Wing mirrors, obviously we don't have the bonnet yet. And the spoiler might need to be painted again because I might have missed a small little bit of it because it's hanging fucking upside down. So we're gonna, and there might have been a run on one of the wing mirrors, maybe. So what we're gonna do is, because I have to paint the bonnet anyways, because this is still the standard blue bonnet, which is why it's open, because when it's closed, it looks like shit. So we have to paint the bonnet, wing mirrors, and the spoiler. I'll do all of them together, and then that'll be kind of the car completed exterior wise. And then we have to move on to the engine. So we have to do the fuel lines, the coolant system, we have wiring to do, we have some work to do in the interior, we have to make a tunnel. So now we're back to the mechanical side of things. But that is the S14. And now David's like, why are we outside again? What are we showing people out here? Well, we picked up 2 cars. Look, they're fucking multiplying. They're reproducing around here. So this one, we'll start here, is it's a VTI S. It's a Civic. This one is not running. It was driving, cut out. He said it was like it ran out of petrol or something like that. So not running. There's some suspension work to be done to it, but kind of unexpected. We went down and picked up the car, not realizing that she no VTIS. It is, in fact, if I can make this look seamless now. Watch, there we go. Svitec lad. So this actually has, did I ruin your glamour? You were about to come in there for a glamour shot, yeah, where this actually has a B18 C4. Apparently it has a built head that's kind of it really. But it's meant to be quite a fast car. Oh, well done cameraman. LSD box, yeah. Any other mods that you can think of? And I'm actually very interested to drive it. The exhaust is actually really nice, TIG welded stainless exhaust, LSD box, built P18 C4, and it has these YSRs. Yeah, actually I'll just make it easier. These YSR yellow speed racing shocks front and back. And I haven't actually had any experience with these yet, but I'm very interested to try them. They're not the cheapest shocks in the world, so I'm wondering how they compare to a BC. I'll let you know once I drive it. I might do the settings on. Yeah, we'll set them up properly. The front's at full hard, and it's got like adjustable arms in the back and stuff like that. So I was actually quite surprised with the spec on the car. There's a good few bits and pieces, but we need to figure out why it's not running, get some of the suspension work done, do an alignment on it. We'll do that with toe plates and set the coilovers, bring it for a spin. This will be an interesting one. It's not going to be a massively long project, but should be fun. It's meant to be the loudest Honda that has ever existed. So when this starts, headphone users, beware, because David put a beep in, what was it? One of the shorts. Someone actually commented, ow, my ears, I was wearing headphones. So loudest beep in the world, courtesy of David. Now, on to the next one. I feel like we're going back to, you know, the first video, back to that style. Yeah. Because it's the one that did the best. On to the next one is a 2003 Subaru Impreza STI. This one we picked up off a guy in Dublin, Ben, shit, I can't think of his second name. Sorry Ben, if you're watching this, I can't think of your second name. But really nice guy, got onto us through YouTube, and I went up last week in the evening, went up, collected the car. He gave me a list of things he's happy with and things he's very, very not happy with. And the car was given to someone, and I'll show you an example of their work right now. So I think the main thing is, the car actually smells really nice inside, it's fucking spotless. So he's given us a list of stuff. This is what I ask every owner to do when they're dropping down a car. Write me out a list, like even after we have our first phone call, after you get off the phone, because you'll always remember things that you didn't think of when you're talking to me. Get a page, write down everything. The things you don't like, the things you'd like changed, how you'd like it done. It just makes it easier for me. That means we miss nothing. He has a list of all the stuff. There's an oil leak supposedly coming from the gearbox, and there's an issue with power. Now, this one actually comes with a dyno sheet. So this car made 257.6 horsepower at the flywheel. It's not a standard car. It apparently has some bits and pieces done. It has a front mount on it and stuff like that. That's less than factory. We can see here from the dyno sheet, the car is very laggy. Like you can see as the power comes in. So there's an issue with it not boosting as quick as it should. It's on a standard turbo, so it should come in pretty fast. So we'll have to get the boost gauge working and maybe take it for a drive and see what the power is like. There's an issue there. And also, if you join me in here, so I can find the bonnet stay, it needs a bit of tidying in here. So the car was brought to somebody and they did a bit of work, and like, no, in fairness to them, they used new cable ties. They didn't reuse old ones, so you know, it's not too bad, but they just kind of cable tied everything together. So like, the horns are cable tied in here, there's cable ties. That one's loose, that's not actually even and then he asked them to put in coilovers. I'm not going to say what's wrong with this. Comment down below if you can figure this one out. This is one side. Yeah, I can make sure that's focused well there now. Yeah. Now, let's come over to this side. And this is the other side. So, comment down below if you can figure out what they've actually done wrong. Surely it's fairly obvious. So we need to go through it and see, like, if they've made that simple of a mistake, I'd be worried that they might have left something loose in the suspension when they were putting the coilovers in. So we'll run through all the suspension, make sure the car is good front to back, and we will figure out why it's so laggy, if it is laggy or if it's just the way the car is, or maybe the turbo is starting to wear out a little and he wants to do some work on the engine. He wants to get it all tidied up, washed down, like actually mount all this stuff properly and not just have random brackets. Like there's literally the coolant expansion bottle is cable tied onto the intercooler pipe, and it's just, you'll see when it's done, there'll be a big difference, major transformation. And he wants to get rid of these HID, well, there's just one kind of sitting there, but he wants to get rid of all those HIDs, convert it over to a modern LED bulb, and just give it a general tidy up. So that's another one. That'll be a nice one, because these things will move along pretty quick. So if you have a short attention span, it'll keep you interested. You get the idea, you do. And for some reason our unwanted section over there is fucking multiplying. There's now 3 diesels here. What's the story there, huh? I want a wall built. I want them behind the wall. I don't want them to be seen. Now, E30 is over in the corner. That will be getting worked on this week. We'll get her stripped down. And the engine, we're back doing up, so I have my vision board here. We're doing up a little list of stuff we need to get for the turbo beams. So I'm currently working my way through the fuel system. So what I'll do is start at the back and I'll figure out what fittings I need, what length of hose I need, make sure I have all the right fittings and everything is done properly so we're not bodging things together. I don't mind waiting for a week for fittings if it means it's the right one, because it avoids something like this happening. So what has happened here is standard fuel rail, fuel comes in here. This is not the fuel pressure regulator. This is a fuel pulse vibration damper. The fuel pressure regulator sits inside the tank and the fuel pump returns excess fuel back into the tank. So this is a returnless system. Fuel comes in here, and what you can do is there's a bung here on the end and you can remove this and put a fitting on it, like so, to then run a return fuel system. So that you can then, so what you can do is you can take something like this. We have a very fancy like billet aluminium one for this, but you take your fuel pressure regulator and you just ram a hole into the engine bay wherever you want. You know, get a big dirty 13 mil there and bend up a bit of your shed door and you mount it right there. Looks shite. Anyways, put that there and then you can run this to your fuel pressure regulator, and then this controls the fuel going back to the tank, and you can actually set the pressure from here. Now, the thing about this is we have 2 problems. Actually, just thought of the second one. This fuel pressure regulator, someone put it in the engine bay. What did they do with the fuel pressure regulator inside the tank? You're right, they left it there. So no matter what you set this to, it will only ever see 3 bar of fuel pressure, because it has 2 ways of returning the fuel. It can return it directly inside the tank, and it's going to try and return it through this. So that is completely useless. It will only ever get 3 bar. You need to blank the fuel pressure regulator that's on the fuel pump. And if you go back 2 videos, you'll see that we found this had a standard fuel pump that no one has done anything with. Therefore, that and this has only done more harm than good, and I'm going to show you why. If we look at this, so they went and put a fitting in here. You would think they went to so much trouble to find the right thread pitch and the right bolt size and make sure it's on properly, because obviously it's a fuel rail. And if this comes out, it's going to spray fuel onto a hot turbo. That's what you'd expect them to do. But as we've seen in past videos, where this came from, the work was not to a very high standard. So what they actually did was they went into their local shop. They found what looked like the closest bolt they could get. I think they actually ground it down and mangled a thread onto it with a tap. Yeah, you can see that there actually. They actually just, they tried to rethread the bolt, and then they actually just mangled it into the fuel rail. In case you're wondering, that's not the thread pitch of an Altezza fuel rail. So, you can see all the burrs, David's favorite word, burr, all the aluminium burrs and everything, and like you can see how well it fits. Like you're in there probably 4 threads before it actually starts catching, and then when you thread it in, it doesn't want to thread in, and like that's not ideal. That is dangerous. Now it needs a fuel rail. So the saga of these Altezas continues because there's always an issue with them. Welcome back. You're probably wondering why there's been a wardrobe change. Montage is meant to be 10 seconds, not fucking a full day. But anyways, let's get back to work. Oh. I have to say, you look very professional with your phone in your hand and the gimbal there, and you're really going Steven Spielberg on me now. Let it run for a minute so it'll charge up the battery a bit. Because the battery's a bit weak. She doesn't get driven much. She needs a wash. They've been doing a bit of ploughing out in the fields, and it's been a bit dusty here lately. So we're going to start off with getting up on the lift, having a look underneath. There's an oil leak from the gearbox, maybe, we don't know. It's definitely an oil leak. So we're going to see where that's from, what parts we need to fix it, and check overall the suspension. Then we're going to start on the engine. We're going to do a boost leak test and run through a few bits and pieces and see what the story is. So you can either stand there for the next 20 minutes, or I'll call you when it's on the lift. If you're wondering why the energy is low now, it's because David said I'm a shit actor. So I'm just not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to show you. I have been to acting school and taken multiple acting lessons.
You definitely haven't.
I actually haven't, you know.
It's something you do.
I haven't.
You play golf, so
No, but the most I did was Irish dancing in primary school. We started off in the girls' school because girls' school did junior infants and senior infants, and then you moved in, you had a boys' school and a girls' school. All the children are starting the girls' school. So we did 50p a week, we did some fucking Irish dancing. Swear to God. They called me Twinkle Toes. Back to the vlog.
Anything you've spotted, no?
Not yet, no. Can you let me look first? You're worse than a fucking... When I had the garage in Gorton, the customers would be in the fucking waiting room, and they're like staring out the door and they're like, anything wrong with the car? Is it done yet? You're like, I haven't put it on the lift. What's wrong with it? Did you fix it? That's when I used to walk over and close the door in their face. I'd never do that now though, that was a different me. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly check over the car. Like, tyres are all new, so they should be fine. Wheels are fairly fresh. We'll be looking at the brakes. I'm gonna talk you through this. Look at the brakes. Pads look okay. Discs look okay. Back and plate is red rotten. The coilovers are new, so you would assume that it'll be okay, but we'll see. We're gonna get in here. Make sure they're just put in. There's a really bad clunking, oh, my hand's all dirty now. There's a really bad clunking noise in the front of the car. Feels like something's coming through the floor because we drove it yesterday. We just didn't video it. But we're gonna check and make sure that there's nothing loose. Grab the wheel, in and out on the top, in and out on the sides. Spin, it's very hard to spin it in a 4-wheel drive. Just spin it, make sure the brakes are free. You're not gonna hear a wheel bearing. On a front-wheel drive, or a rear-wheel drive, you'd be able to actually spin the wheels fast enough on the lift to kind of hear a wheel bearing. On a 4-wheel drive like this, you won't. So you have to drive to check the bearings properly. But you can check, there might be play in them, so you can do a little bit of like in and out. Brake calipers are new, pads are new, so you would assume the brakes are okay, but we'll make sure that everything is fine there. Discs look okay. One thing we always check is, geez, they're really long tyre stems, aren't they? Like, they're excessively long. Like, that's 6 inches? Oh, at least. That could be 8, actually. That could be 8. Make sure they're not. So this is actually an NCT fail as well. On the back of the valve here, if they crack or split, that's an NCT fail. And also a reason your tyre might leak or go flat, driving a flat tyre, these don't have tyre pressure sensors, so you'll end up ruining the tyre. But look around, looking through here, make sure the brake pipes aren't twisted up. Anytime you see new calipers, there's always a chance that they've put them back on and the brake pipes are twisted and they could be rubbing off something. So we check through that, and the phone down, give it a quick spin. Everything seems okay there. In and out seems okay. Oh, there's something wrong there. This is I can put the that'll be the problem, all right. So see this. You'd usually have them tight.
Can try it now.
Oh yeah. Can you?
Yeah.
You'd usually tighten them.
Twist it now, throw it up.
Oh. Well, I'm not an octopus like.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'd usually tighten them. That worries me. Because that's loose. The whole wheel is flopping over and back. Okay. If you cut back to yesterday's clip of the top mounts, and then we have this. Might need to have a better look at this car. Check the rest of it and see. This one, you can really. Oh, that one's okay. There's two more up top as well. You can't see they're behind the wheel. But again, shake the wheels, spin them, make sure nothing is sticking or rubbing. Like backing plates, pads, calipers are new. Again, and the same on this side, brake pipes. And checking for rust at the end of the metal brake pipe as well. That's also an NCT fail. And obviously if it's rusty enough, it's a danger of the actual brake pipe bursting or splitting. Or that one's loose as well. You ready? Do you see a coilover spanner in my hand anywhere? No? In my pockets, you can check my pockets if you want. Nope. We're not doing this for the YouTubes or the views. As David said, I'm a terrible actor anyways. Thanks. Yeah, I did, that's offensive. This one's really obvious.
Yeah, but you want to be a good actor like you're a mechanic, I mean.
None of this is acting, this is all real life. This is like, what's that? I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. Big Brother. Love Island. This is exactly the same as Love Island.
That was the loudest notification I've heard in 4 years.
WhatsApp. WhatsApp is more aggressive. Snapchat's like, ding, I'm here. WhatsApp is like, read me now. Anyone WhatsApps you, it's important. That explains so much.
Let's try it.
You see that? have a look back there now. See? You ready?
Yeah, wait. Go on. Is that wheel tight? Is anything tight?
The wheel's tight.
Is it?
Yeah, the whole hub is moving. It's because the coilover's loose.
Don't explain how much the car drives like shit.
Oh, it felt above 60 miles an hour, it felt dangerous. It was like all over the road. So, loose coilovers, I'm assuming you've all figured out, go away Siri. I'm assuming you've all figured out what's wrong with the top mounts at this stage. One line in and one line out. So you have positive and negative camber on the same car on the front. Then it only wants to go left. I'm going to eat Vagisil and turn to the left. And now we have loose coilovers.
I'd say go up higher and try to see what else you have.
Strap stems look okay. Brake pads, again, new. Discs are alright. Backing plate on this side is okay. We go up in the arch. Those coilovers, my God. Okay. Alright, we may as well go up a bit higher so and see what's happening underneath. Worse. Way worse. I didn't have much hope considering the top mounts were arseways, but like, you expect maybe they left something loose. Will we start at the front? Well, yeah, we just don't get that in the shop. Just talk quietly near it in case. Don't talk too loud in case the exhaust falls off. Do you know what it's like? Do you know the poppadoms or the fucking? Do you know the oats you get out of the Chinese? The little white. What are they? Are they poppadoms? No, they're not poppadoms. The little. Oh, you know when your one's like, and you want bags? Prawn crackers. Yeah. You want prawn cracker? When you spend over €60, you get prawn crackers for free. This person must have spent €60 on their Chinese because that's literally a prawn cracker. Right, let's get to the front. Let's get to the front here and we'll see, can we spot anything else? Up in here, like, it must be very hard for you to like video because I'm like kind of fucking all over the place. You don't know where I'm going. Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest with you.
Which one? Newer? They just ran.
They're reconditioned silver. So, yeah, they're not new. Neither are the droplings. Droplings look okay. Debushings, like they're polybushed. Obviously, coilover, loose, and brake pipe's okay. Caliper looks like it's on okay, but again, we're going to be checking all the bolts on the calipers and any suspension to make sure that everything is tight because I have zero hope for this car being put together properly. That CV boot is starting to split, but it's not fully gone through yet. Drive shaft looks okay. Moving across, we have the cable tie was nearly on, although cable ties. Okay, come up here for a second and look at the steering rack, will ya? No. See this boot. On a road car, that is extremely important. And like if it was a track car or a drift car, if it was a drift car or a track car, you wouldn't really care too much. You generally leave them off because you're tracking the car so often and you're centering the rack and stuff like that, that it's nice to be able to see the rack and get in and out of there, and you're not really driving it that much. So road dirt and water is not really an issue. On a road car, and this is going from years of fixing cars and getting them through NCT and looking at what fails, high mileage cars, low mileage cars, steering rack failure is usually a direct result of someone cable tying the boots on, because this is no longer watertight. This has to be a watertight seal. If water gets in here, and it's worse when you do a cable tie, because if water gets into the boot and it sits here, it's enough to let the water in, but it generally won't come back out again. And what'll happen is then it'll actually start to rust the steering rack, damage the seals in the steering rack, damage the bushings, and then you end up with playing your steering rack. That's actually really important to have the proper metal clips on there. They're metal from the factory for a reason. Put metal ones back on. I can see what you're staring at. I'm also staring at the same thing as well. I'm not going to stand there because I will get tripped on. But we're still looking at suspension here. So that's handy. The oil filter says engine, just in case you got confused. You might have thought it was for your... You can't see his face, I just did. Oh, it's just back jam. It's not even at the right angle, like, what were they trying to achieve there? What? Why would they cut it like that? And then they nearly had all the intercooler pipes have to come off. So the whole intercooler pipe, like, oh my. There's holes there. There's literally a hole for bolts. The intercooler isn't, oh my God, the intercooler's not mounted to anything. And I wouldn't mind, but there's literally like...
Factory, like...
The bolt holes are right there.
Market ones, and they actually... What? There's
The holes are there with the I thought they snapped the bolts off.
Yeah.
I thought they snapped the bolts off and they left them out, but you can see there was a bolt there and someone has removed it for, see? Watch here, now, look. See what I'm on about here, see this oil? So that means there's a leak somewhere. So it's probably leaking out of this pipe, which, oh yeah, I can see it there, watch. See it glistening in behind? Yeah, you have to get, it's glistening in the slit there, right there. Did you get it?
Yeah, do it again.
See that?
Yeah.
If that was, I don't know, a Passat, you wouldn't really mind. But like on a performance car, all these little leaks add up to a bigger leak, which makes it laggy and also puts the turbo under more pressure because it has to flow more air, so you have premature turbo failure. So stuff like this, there should be no oil on the intercooler system anywhere. That's leaking because it looks like it has the wrong size clamp. And also the intercooler is no longer attached to the car. And now we're back as far as, it's not tripping too much. One of the main reasons it's here, which is a gearbox oil leak. And it's everywhere. I'd say it's leaking out. You can see it here. I'd say we're gonna have to put in a set of output shaft seals so you can actually see the oil leaking down. And it's all wet back here as well. And it's very wet here at the back too. It's an odd one. So what we'll have to do with this is get the drain pan, wash down the gearbox, run it on the lift and see where the leak is coming out. Look, it's the Mayo flag and cable ties. Yeah, Galway rules. Galway on top. So, and then like back here. What are you laughing at? Did you see someone cable tied wire into the anti-roll bar?
Yeah, I was laughing at that. And I was laughing at the cable tie around the diff as well.
What is going on? Have a look at that exhaust hanger there and tell me what were they trying to achieve? Why is there 3 bolts wedged through the rubber? Or they? Oh, this one is just cable ties. Okay. So that one's just cable ties.
Picture of the torch on that.
Oh yeah, that one's just. I'll jot down something quick there on the old board. I have a fair idea. And I think the only thing left then is just fully diagnose that gearbox. See where it's leaking from. Back to this, we've noticed there's been some fandangling going on. That's my new word now, buzzword for the day, fandangle. So someone's fandangled the exhaust manifold. Watch. Listen to this side. This would actually be dead handy. Do you know if you were trying to find a noise in an engine? Record. Watch. Bottom end. Bottom end. Right, this is the exhaust on the good side. You can probably see there on the screen it's very minimal. It's probably in the green. Looks good, doesn't it?
I've coloured just levels.
Different levels. I have a headache after electrocuting both of us. Now listen to this side. Yeah, you see that? Watch. What's the oil filter sound like? I might leave that off. Yeah, you can hear that the exhaust manifold is probably cracked and the gas is going out. That'll also contribute to the lag in boost. So there's multiple reasons. Boost leaks, exhaust leaks, possibly needs a turbo. I did hear a funny noise coming from the turbo on the test drive, so we expect it to be that. Now, back here. We found one of the gearbox leaks. Oh, I need a mask. And that's the shit. What's the story with the sticker? That's fair scrap quality, that like. I've never seen it, but it's leaking out of these 2 bolts here. So it's leaking out of this one, and it's leaking out of this one. That seems to be the majority of where it's leaking from. Now, around this side, it'll probably only come out while it's driving, but we've cleaned it off. I've seen it wet around here. So, we're looking at 2 oil seals for the front drive shafts. We'll probably do a rear one as well if we can get it, because it's wet up there too. So we'll probably do all the output shaft seals. And we'll take these off and see, they might need, I don't know what's on them, probably like some sort of a copper washer or something behind this. We'll get these out, the washer on them, that should solve the leak. That's it for now, folks. I don't know, sure, I'll see you in the next clip. Smooth. Different day. Let's go outside. I came in this morning and I started washing stuff. All this is S14 parts, wiring looms, bits of the SR. Obviously I'm not using it, but I might reassemble the SR back together and just throw it at the office or something. And this is off the Subaru. So if you go back in the video, you'll see it was red. And we've actually used a combination of the two chemicals to bring it back to a bare aluminium and kind of brighten it up. Now, Subaru is inside. Follow me. So we don't have time to just spend the whole day at one car. We're busy, like. So on to the next thing. As you can see, I've already started. A quick look over the engine. So obviously it's not starting. First thing we'll do is just turn it over, make sure we can hear the fuel pump. Fuel pump is engaging. So then the next thing is we have these little guys. They're called night lights. So you can put them into any electrical connection and check if it's firing. So you can check coils, you can check injectors, you can check lots of things with these. You can see it. Now we know it's getting fuel because I have a spark plug out. We can also smell it. So we're getting petrol. The injectors are firing, but I do not have any spark. I've just stuck spark plug into the end of the lead, hold it up against the shock top, and the spark plugs are not firing. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start checking the wire into the coil, the distributor, and we're going to make sure the distributor is getting power. And we might take the cap off and have a look inside. But one thing I have noticed is that not only were we told there's quite a bit of oil leaking from the rocker cover, like that's a lot of oil. Hopefully it's not too hard to get it running. If it needs a distributor, then we're going to have to look for one that's going to delay us. So hopefully it's something simple like a set of spark plugs, or we're over here checking the fuses, could be a blown fuse. So I think that's the end of this clip, and I'll get back to you when I have an update. Yeah, that's better. You come in and touch me, not the other way around. Mental. We're back. Yesterday we got these washed, so I'll show you starting with this one. So washed down this engine yesterday and just getting it ready for the new turbo, because I don't know, did we say it already this week? No, I might have mentioned it somewhere along the way, but there's a new turbo coming for this. We're going to go for an IHI VF35. We'll try and get the ball bearing version, and this was dynoed at 256. It should be 265, so it is down on standard power, but we're going to try and make around 300 with this. So the Civic, I had a look at it yesterday. I don't know how much of the diagnosing we showed. I think I talked about it a little bit, but I probably did more after that. So went through all the fuses were okay. We night lighted the injector loom. All the injectors are okay, and they are firing because we can smell the fuel. Then we went up to the distributor. We weren't getting any spark, so we checked the wire into the distributor. We have power going to it. So I actually took the old distributor off and checked it on the bench, and the insides were pretty burnt up, and having the spark plugs sitting in engine oil probably didn't help it either. So I actually sourced a distributor yesterday for it. So we got a distributor that came off EK9 rally car, and then he gave us these NGK leads as well. So we have a set of upgraded leads for it, because the original leads are soaked in oil. So that's the original distributor and original leads. So next step is to get a set of plugs into it. I have the distributor on. I have it roughly set to the timing. We will have to time this afterwards with the timing light, but I have it just set at a kind of a base setting. So we get the plugs in, get the leads on, see if it starts. Welcome back. So you were with us there about 20 seconds ago. Now that it's warmed up, the oil is cleared out of the cylinder. It's back on 4 cylinders now, and we're going to let it warm up, knock it off, check it for oil, and then we're going to bring it for a test drive.
So that's the owner. So now you have evidence.
Full permission. And the next clip will be us just tipping down to the shop for a bottle of water. Typical Honda thing, like.
Oh, this is actually very good.
It's a lot of fun. The coilovers are actually very good. They need to be stiffened up a little on the front, but they're actually comfy, you know.
Oh my god. The top end is unreal.
You have to drive it like a Honda. It's another one fixed. Now, for food. Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. So we drove the car, you've seen in previous clips. She moves, but she's not as fast as she should be. We've put the distributor in, and I just set it to, there was actually a dot marked on the distributor from the previous owner, so just set it to that. It wasn't going to be miles off. We took it for a drive. Obviously the timing is slightly off. So now we're going to run through the timing process of a B18. This is going to be very quick. I'm not going to bore you. Don't click into the next video, just wait. Because it's not just as simple as putting a timing light on it. So we've taken out the ECU, and in here we have 2 plugs. This one is for activating the CEL light, which is for reading fault codes on the dash. We've looped this, which is going to hold the ECU in a base map mode, and it stops it varying the timing, which means you can actually set the timing right. Because when you're trying to set the timing on these without this, the ECU will try and self-adjust, and it just makes it very hard to set it properly. So we have that done. We start the car is already warm. So we'll start the engine. Timing light. There's loads of different types. There's dear ones, there's cheap ones. Get a decent one, because some of them, the light out of them is absolute trash and you won't be able to see the timing marks. So timing light, positive, negative. Try and get it onto the battery to get a good 12-volt source for this. And then we just have clamp onto the cylinder 1 lead with the arrow facing the plug. Now, down here, if you look in, all we do is pull the trigger, it flashes. So you can see there on the pulley, it just flashes exactly when the spark plug fires. You'll get the idea. So there's 3 timing marks down there on the crank pulley, and there's 1 mark on the cover. So there's actually 4 marks on the crank pulley. One of them is for setting TDC when you're doing the static timing. The other 3 to the left of it are for setting your ignition timing. The one right in the middle is base timing, to the left is advanced, and the right is retarded. But we're going to start off with the middle timer mark, which is the one you should set it to. So all we simply do is grab a 12mm, we loosen off the distributor, and you'll actually hear a difference in the engine as we set the timing. So this is off quite a bit. So we're going to bring it back, we'll rotate the distributor to change the timing. You hear the difference the way the engine is running now. So we're going to bring it back, and bring it back, and that is pretty much, it's pretty much on the money right there. So you've set that to the middle timer mark. That is your basic ignition timing set. From there, we'll bring it back in. We need to do a service on the engine. We have the correct plugs on the way for it, and then we have some suspension work to it. So that's that one. Okay, the final clip for the week, and we will give you the last update on the Civic. You'll see this next week, fully done. and I will be recording the last few bits we do with it tomorrow. It'll probably be finished by tomorrow evening. So we have it up on the lift, and we have stripped out front upper control arms, and I'll show you on the bench in a second. And we have done back here, I have one side done, we still have to do the other side, and these are the rear upper control arms, and the bushings were gone in them. So we have two of them, two in the back, and if you come over here, I'll show you there was an issue with the front suspension arms. We also have rocker cover gaskets to do. We have a few bits to do with the rocker cover itself. So, this is the new one. This is the original one. And as you can see, completely different. So what we've had to do is strip down one of the new ones. We've taken the bushings out and the ball joint, and then we've stripped down an original one. So we're going to reuse this arm, and we've put the new ball joint in. So what we'll do is put the new ball joint in, and we'll TIG weld it into the arm here and put the clip on so that it's safe and secure, because every time you press these out and press them in, you kind of widen the hole in the arm a small little bit. So ball joint, and then I have taken this piece, which is this, and I've pressed out the old bushings, pressed in the new ones, and I've just had to shorten the ends of the bushings slightly to make them fit in because they were a little bit longer. So that's that. And that means we don't have to leave the car on the lift for a week or 2 weeks, or put the whole thing back together to take it off. So sometimes you got to think outside the box. So we have the front suspension going back together, back suspension going back together, and I think that's it for this week. That's it. Have a good weekend. Good luck.